guys, this is Dandilion Song. Thanks for coming back. This is part 25 of the short series of the Pope visit, and it's covering part of September 26th. In the recent short videos, we covered the Cathedral Basilica, and now we're going to be covering Independence Hall and some of the gematria that's around that. Hi guys, this is Dandilion Song, and we're going to just do another edition of the Pope on September 26th in Philadelphia. I just put up 3 videos about drawings that I found in Philadelphia. They're kind of like Pope tour supplements, just to give you an idea of some of the background work that has gone into this area. So look for those in my lineup because they're pretty interesting. I hope you like them. So I'm hoping, we spent a lot of time in the Cathedral Basilica. There was a lot to say, and so I'm hoping we can get through actually the rest of the day. Let's see if we can do it. Well, this article, I'm taking this article from the New York Times, and I'm hoping to, there's a cluster of links that I'm hoping to put in the description. I think I showed you this gematria of the Pope will arrive in a motorcade, but just to show you how well gematria these statements are, I want to show you where more than 1,000 people are expected. More than 1,000 people are expected. So we have a 269. And this is, of course, the date, the 9/26. The special thing about 9/26 is it is the 269th day. There's just so much symmetry there. There's just so much. It's amazing. So here's 108. This could also be seen as a 216. And if it was a 216 or twice 108, because of that too, just as a possibility, that would be phi squared. And that would also match Philadelphia. So this one I'm not sure about, but it matches rainbow and some other things. I don't want to spend too much time on the gematria. I just wanted to show you how compelling this was, really, in the simple gematria, that equals the date. And this also equals phi squared too, because it's a 2.618. This 9 is a 1/8. So much there, really. All right, so at 4:45 he's going to give a speech at Independence Hall. Francis will talk about immigration, religious freedom at the lectern used by Abraham Lincoln to give the Gettysburg Address. And Zachary K. Hubbard also did a video on the Gettysburg lectern and the symbolism of all of this, and he found a lot of amazing things. And he's a really good speaker, and he can hold a lot of facts in his head. So please go over to his channel, Zachary K. Hubbard, and look that up, because there's no way I can replicate that awesome video that he did. So I looked up Independence Hall, and it's now called Independence National Historical Park. And I wanted to show you these numbers because it's this is basically a 3 Venus gateway. I just showed you with the drawing of Isis in Philadelphia that's a 3003 near her mouth. It's the first place the Pope visits, and that would be a 33rd degree Venus gateway, I guess. You know, I'm just trying to figure this out as we go along. This one looks like a 3. I was thinking, well, okay, maybe that's not worth showing you, until I scrolled down and found out that it matches David Rockefeller and so many other places that the Pope is going. Well, I guess the UN mostly is Rockefeller connected. There's just a lot of connections. I think he's also going to the memorial of the 9/11 site, and that's Rockefeller connected too. So we just want to be aware of the bankroll, where the money's coming from, where it's going to. Down here, because these numbers are so large, those associations don't end up to be very useful for me. All right, so out of curiosity, I'm going to try to use this more, put the Independence National Historical Park into the JCN gematria counter, which lines up 21 different kinds of gematria, and then I put the meaning of. So here are the numbers. And then we just look for the ones with the most associations. So which number represents the Grand Lodge of England? So this is kind of implying that it's the origin of the New World Order of George Bush, the secret of the original Japanese Reiki Society, the number which represents the practice of Qigong. So these are probably spiritual, those are probably spiritual dragon houses. the master of the healing of the infection named MRSA. The agenda of a harmful disruption of energy fields. The mission of 9/11/1857. All right. I wish it would pop it up at the top if there was one that matched all of them. It's pretty rare that one matches all of them, but that was pretty interesting. So this is the location, just to show you where it is in Philadelphia. It's right next to the Delaware, and it's sort of off the chin. I think this is the chin of ISIS. So here we are. We went into a bubble at Independence Halls just to take a look. I don't know where this is all going to be. There we go. Come on, bubble. Wow, it's really pretty here. It'll be really pretty because of the leaves will be fall. This looks like it was in early spring. To look up and see who this guy is. He must be one of these first name type of celebrities. So there's a Liberty Bell Center here, but it says up here, if I read this right, that the bell isn't here anymore. And this, to me, this matters because of the $100 bill having the bells on it and having being a forecaster of a tidal wave for New York. So I'm kind of curious where the bell is and what's going on with this site, what the symbolism here might be. So it says here that some buildings were demolished for the project, and among for the project in the 1950s, the intention would the land would be turned over to the NPS. It says a couple hundred 18th, 19th, and 20th century buildings were purchased and demolished for the project. Among these were the surviving walls of the President's House, White House of George Washington and George Adams during the decade 1790 to 1800 that Philadelphia served as the temporary national capital. So that might be why he's coming here. They really do care about these type of anniversaries and things like this. So here's Independence Hall as it appeared in the 1700s. I just love Wikipedia for this kind of thing. Okay, well I guess we are in the right place for the location of the bell. I'll show you the Wikipedia. And it shows it being here. Whoop. Shows it being right here. I'll show you the Wikipedia. So these are the coordinates I put in. So I think we're in the right place for the bell. And I think this is important because of the $100 bill. And I did do a video that included the $100 bill in it recently, and I can't remember the title of it. But if you put a $100 bill predictive, or folding the $100 bill, and you'll see the videos that are about the ringing bells on the $100 bill and some of the other possible warnings. Okay, so I put the meaning of Liberty Bell into the JCN gematria counter, and it does have a 21 gematria match for the crown of the maiden name. So I thought that was interesting because the maiden is probably Virgo, which is probably Diana, Inanna, Ishtar, all those people, Artemis, Isis, all these people that we've been seeing. So the crown, it's very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So because he's going to be using the lectern of Abraham Lincoln that he used at Gettysburg, let's look at this gematria, and it has a 1, 2, 3 in it. I've been over this series, I've been showing you, and we've been noticing together a lot of 1, 2, 3s and 3, 2, 1s. Count up and count down. Today I was looking at a Simpson episode that had really piles and piles of counting up and counting down. So I have watched this whole episode, and the reason why I chose this episode is because it's the 266th episode. All right, well, we'll cut this part right here. You can always count on a children's show to give you some hints. I mean, I think this has been the tradition ever since Alice in Wonderland, and I am starting to look at Alice in Wonderland, and there are a lot of 9/11 symbolisms in there. Red is 9, white is 11, and on. Off with her head is 9/11, and lots to see. So anyway, I hope to bring that to you too.